हमारा सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम यह है कि हमारे पास इतना पैसा नहीं है अपने मुल्क को चलाने के लिए।
हम इस रिजल्ट को रिजेक्ट करते हैं बिल्कुल।
I don't think we have time to waste on politics as usual.
ये कोई गलत फहमी में ना रहे कि इस प्रेशर की वजह से मैं शायद पीछे हट जाऊं।
I think this is totally wrong, baseless and false.
Pakistan, a country riddled with economic distress, high inflation, political instability, and more recently, an increase in militancy, will hold its general election on the 8th February 2024.
आज हमारे हालात ये हैं कि हम जो कर्जों के ऊपर हम सूद दे रहे हैं, उस सूद को देने के लिए हमें कर्जे लेने पड़ते हैं।
Such is the instability in the nation that no prime minister has ever been able to complete a full 5-year term in office. What exactly does the general election in Pakistan entail? Who all are contesting, and more importantly, will the crisis-ridden country be able to come out of its economic and political misery? Let's find out.
Flawed election at best, and an unfree and unfair election at the worst.
Pakistani voters will elect leaders to the 336-member National Assembly, which is the lower house of Pakistan's parliament, somewhat similar to what Lok Sabha is in India. The upper house is the Senate with 100 members, which are elected by the members of Provisional Legislative Assembly. Out of these 336 National Assembly members, 266 are directly elected by the people, whereas the rest of the seats are reserved either for women candidates or the religious minorities in the country. According to Dawn, the Prime Minister is elected by the members of National Assembly in accordance with the second schedule of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in the National Assembly 2007. To be a candidate for Prime Minister, one has to be a MNA. As the first step, the candidate has to be proposed for the position of Prime Minister by any fellow MNA. So if Nawaz Sharif's PLM wins maximum seats and majority of MNAs are from his party, they can nominate Sharif to be the Prime Minister of the country. The nomination then has to be seconded by any other lawmaker. The candidate thus has to have a proposer and a seconder. Since Pakistan is an Islamic republic, the head of the government also has to be from the Muslim faith. While the term for the elected Prime Minister is 5 years, none have ever in the history of Pakistan ever completed their full term in office. More recently, it was the former PM Imran Khan who was snatched of his full term when he was ousted in April 2022 following a no-confidence vote, who had completed just over 3 years in office. Since then, the cricketer turned politician has been shot, hit with over 180 charges ranging from rioting and terrorism, and also jailed.
अगर मैं अकेला भी रह गया ना, अकेला, मैं तब भी हकीकी आज़ादी के लिए इस मुल्क के लिए खड़ा रहूँगा।
On 30th January 2024, Khan along with his party, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, Vice President Shah Mohammad Qureshi were sentenced to 10 years in prison for allegedly leaking classified state documents. Moreover, the Election Commission of Pakistan had stripped the PTI of its election symbol, citing technical reasons that the party failed to hold intra-party polls, which was a prerequisite to take part in the February 8 elections. So, who all the fight for Pakistan top job narrows down to? Can Imran Khan and his party leaders still fight the election? Well, the answer to the latter part is that while Imran Khan has been deemed ineligible to run for elections due to a ban stemming from corruption investigation, his party members can still contest the elections. However, not as a members of the PTI, since they have no longer have a single electoral symbol to rally behind. Instead, hundreds of candidates from the PTI have been given separate symbols from the independent symbol list, including dice and a bowl. However, analysts say that this could result in confusion among Khan's supporters as well as an added cost of campaigning.
No matter what happens on election day, the fact that one of the major parties in the country has been cut down to size in a big way suggests that it will be a flawed election at worst, and a flawed election at best, and an unfree and unfair election at the worst.
Apart from PTI, former PM Shehbaz Sharif has said that his elder brother Nawaz Sharif will be the Prime Minister if PML and wins the majority. Sharif, who returned after a 4-year self-exile in 2023, has served as the PM for almost 9 years across 3 tenures. Bilawal Bhutto, the son of former PM Benazir Bhutto, has also been able to position himself as a potential PM candidate from the Pakistan People's Party, especially after a brief tenure as a foreign minister under Shehbaz Sharif's government.
I would prefer to form a Pakistan People's Party-led government with independent politicians. I think, unfortunately, both the Muslim League and the Tehreek-e-Insaf have proved that they are two sides of the same coin. The faces change, but the policies stay the same.
While there are other independent candidates who may be eyeing for the top job, the likelihood of popular leaders to become the PM seems stronger. But as there has always been, Pakistan's election and its subsequent selection of prime ministers has never been devoid of military's intervention. The alliance partners of the PMLN, the PPP along with the PTI are raising concerns over the military's tactic of backing of Nawaz Sharif's return to power. Both parties say that the military establishment and interim government are favouring Nawaz Sharif's PMLN. Most analysts see Sharif as the likely next prime minister. Still, while experts say there are genuine complaints about the fairness of the election, they also noted that this is not particularly unusual for Pakistan.
We've seen on a number of occasions in the past that in the months and weeks leading up to the election, the party that the military happens to not be comfortable with tends to suffer before the election.
So, only the post-mortem of the Pakistan elections will be able to give us a clear picture of the level of military interference in this year's elections. But whoever comes to power will have a monumental task of reviving the country's economy, tackling the rising security concerns along with easing geopolitical tensions, whether they are with Iran, Afghanistan or with India.